Hi,
Hello,
everybody.
internet world. It's the Ask a National Models.
That's our camera sound, in case you wondered.
Beautiful. Coming to you live from Inglewood High School. So today we're going to do a video that we've been asked to do. We do a lot of really fun things, but we're going to do one on Excel basics.
It's my favorite thing, actually.
Microsoft Excel. So Microsoft Excel is really, really awesome. It does a lot of cool things, and it's where you need it's the basic where you need to start with everything. So,
and don't get intimidated. We're gonna start from the very, very beginning today. So if you've seen Excel or you've seen people using it and doing all kinds of crazy things, we're gonna start from the beginning today. So everyone should be able to follow what we're showing you on the screen and really be able to use it to make your counseling program even better.
Cool. Or your life in general.
Or your life in general.
Microsoft Excel. Okay, great. So we will see you on the other side.
Where did it go?
Okay, it's here. Okay, so this is Microsoft Excel, and what we've done is we've just pulled a file from something that we had. So this is a file that we've currently used. We've taken the names off of it, so you can't go and check up on our students. But the first thing that we want to show you is the difference between columns and rows, okay? So these right here, and I'm just highlighting them, these are columns, okay? So every column has a title, as you can see in here. And then these are the rows. So the numbers are the rows and the letters are the columns. So for instance, our title here for these columns is in row number 1. Okay, so you always want to remember, like if I'm scrolling down here and I'm looking, this is a really long spreadsheet, but there's 1,042. There's not actually 1,042, there's 1,041 because remember that this is in the first thing. So that's the first thing. The other thing is that you can see in some of these, I can't exactly see everything, like this mailing address. I can't see the whole mailing address unless I click on it, but let's say I want to see the whole thing, or it's not. These are movable. You can move them like this, but a really quick trick is if you just go, see, and you get this little bar, so I'm little arrow, bar. And you're going to take that bar and you're going to double click your mouse, and it's going to expand that whole column so that you can see that. Okay, so I'm going to do that for all these so I can see all the columns there. And so you see this one, even though this is small, this 9th grade entry year says it really large, so it's going to expand the whole thing. So I want to be able to see everything in here. So I'm going to get that little bar and I'm going to double click everything there. We'll show you a little later how to sort of manipulate those things.
All right, and the next thing you'll probably want to do when working with Excel is most of the time you get spreadsheets and you're trying to organize them in some way to get all of your kids. The easiest way to do that is to know how to sort. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the whole spreadsheet, and I'm going to go up to Data. Oops, there it is. And we're going to go to this sort column right here. Some of you may not have this version of Excel, but you're just looking for the sort button. And what we want to do is some rows, you can either do them ascending or descending, meaning if you are looking by age, you could simply click on the age or the birth date. Let's do the birth date column here. Sort, ascending. And let's do sort. And now it's going to show me all of the birth dates in ascending order, but it's basically the month, the first month of their birthday. So let's say, though, that we wanted to sort this spreadsheet by 9th grade entry year. That's typically what we sort most by. We're going to do a custom sort. And we're going to sort, remember, we're going to want to look at what columns we have. So we're going to want to do A, B, C, D, E, F. We're going to want to sort by column G. Sort by column G. And you press OK. And here we are. It's going to give us all of the entry year starting with 0, 0 all the way down. So let's just say you had the 12, 13 entry year. In a minute, we're going to show you how to delete so that all you see is your entry year. And another awesome trick is if you want to manipulate a spreadsheet quickly, you can highlight the entire spreadsheet and do something called filter. And I'll show you what you want to do. So you want to do by cell value. Here's the filters. You can click on them and it will show you it'll show you all of the options that you could see. Now, student numbers is not really the best one to do, so let's just say you're looking for specific student numbers. You can click on those, and only those will appear on your filter. There. It's easiest to do by, let's say, male and female. You're only looking for the males on your spreadsheet. You can unclick female, and there you are. Now here, we may want to clear this filter. So there we go. We've got all the males on our spreadsheet, and you can do that for each and every column. And it's simple. If you're done with the filter or you want the whole document back, you can simply just clear the filter or undo the filter.
Very cool. So I'm going to take this off. Let's go ahead and clear. Okay, so I'm going to unclear the filter here. I'm going to go back up to the top of the spreadsheet. Okay, so we've sorted by entry year. Sort, custom sort. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Okay, so it's basically my old spreadsheet back. Basically. Okay, so you want to remember that when it sorts one column, it's going to sort everything. So this entry year here, this column G goes here. Okay, so it's never just going to sort this column and then leave the other things where they were. It all goes together. But let's say there was one on here that was GPA, but let's say I don't really care about entry year and I want it off, or this address. I don't really care about the address and I want to delete that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight, remember the column here, and I'm going to delete the column, okay? And then that whole entire column goes away. You're just going to right click and delete it, okay? There should be an undo button that looks like a little thing right here. There's an undo button and you can undo it like that. Another quick trick that you can do is you can do Control Z. Control Z will also do that, but if you just click this undo button, it'll do it. But I still don't want this, so I'm going to right click and I'm good to delete it, okay? And let's say that this student, I'm going to go ahead and I want to filter by advanced. I want, well, it's already there. Okay, so let's say that these OO entry years, I don't want them anymore, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and highlight my rows. I'm going to right click and I'm going to delete. And it's going to delete all those rows for me. Now, this is on a different version of Excel. Most of them are going to do the same thing. Sometimes it will pop up and it'll say, what do you want to do with the column or the row? Do you want to delete the entire row? Do you want to move them left? Do you want to move them up? Most of the time you want to delete the entire row if you don't want anything else that's in there. Okay, so you want to keep that in mind. Okay, so I've gotten rid of some of the things on there. Another cool thing are these sheets at the bottom. So Excel, this is actually a workbook. Okay, that's what this entire save thing is. It's a workbook. Okay, it's not an Excel sheet, it's a workbook. And the reason it's called a workbook is because it's actually a book. So you want to think about this as like a binder. You had a binder and you have dividers here. So this first sheet, I want to name this first sheet. Let's say I want to call this 10, 11. Okay, that's my entry year. But I want to put on this next sheet that's blank, I want to put 11, 12 on there. Well, copy and paste, it never goes away. It just keeps coming back around. So what I want to do is I want to take all these 11, 12 entries and I want to highlight them. It's a lot of 11, 12 entries. I'm going to highlight them. I'm going to right click and I'm going to cut them, okay? I'm going to come over here to my next sheet. I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to paste. And there they are. Now they're on their own sheet and I can go through. So if I send this workbook to somebody, go back. See, I just undid it. Let's say I want to redo it again. I'm going to go through, highlight again. I'm just going to reiterate here. 11, 12, I'm going to cut this, put them here, I'm going to paste. I don't want these blanks anymore, so I'm going to delete the blanks so that everything else moves up, and there you go. So let's say I want to send this workbook to somebody. In our counseling office, we work in entry years, so we all want to work from the same workbook maybe, or we just want it a little bit better organized, so we can rename these sheets. I can even name this down here, and what you do is you just double click on it, and it'll highlight it to change it, and you can do like 12, 13, And then over here you can do those 0 zeros, or you can be like, you know, I have no idea, and you can put them there. And so that's a cool thing. You can also type into this just as normal. So you can type, you know, and do it from there. You can type into them. So we just wanted to show you some basic Excel techniques, just how to sort and filter. So when you get a spreadsheet, you don't want to do anything to it, you just want to organize it. Those are the basic things that you need to do.
And remember that undo button, you know, is your best friend sometimes. The most, I know myself and Laura, we were kind of both self-taught with Excel. So it really just takes you getting in there and playing around. And as long as you have the original file, you really, and you make sure that that's somewhere safe, you can get in and play around. And honestly, Google sometimes is your best friend. If you have questions about Excel, you can go to Google and say, how do I sort cells, or how do I do this? And most of the time there'll be videos available on YouTube, on the internet, that will show you very quickly how to use Excel. So don't be intimidated by it. It can do so many amazing things, but we just wanted to give you a little bit of a head start on some of the simple things so that you can build from there.
And if this video just doesn't show you, or you just want a little bit more info, this is what I do all the time. Somebody will come to me and say, how do I expand a row, or how do I rename a new sheet? So you're basically going to go into Google and say, how do I rename a new sheet in Microsoft? That's not how you spell Microsoft, but Google will fix it because it's so smart. Okay, how do I rename a sheet in Microsoft Excel? And you can go here, and there are just tons of things that you can see, and it'll tell you how to do it. You can watch, and it'll tell you exactly how to do it here. I'm a big fan of watching videos, which is why we create YouTube videos. And there are probably tons of videos on here. Insert a new sheet and rename it in Excel, Microsoft Excel tips. If you don't know how to do something, Google it. That's how we learn how to do a lot of things, and so it's a really cool program. Okay, so that was Microsoft Excel. We wanted to get back to basics, and this video was straight from a request. So if you have any requests, please shoot us an email. Our email will be at the bottom of the screen. Okay, our emails will be right there. Tell us what you want to see. If it's on a computer, we can usually figure it out, and if we can't, we will probably Google it.
Yeah,
so
Google it.
we love you. We miss you.
Thank you so much.